Okay, this video shows you the second half of chapter 5.4 in Revit, which is adding windows to your project. So if you look at page 548, it shows you where all you're placing a specific type of window. So the window that you're adding, first of all, you want to go to your architecture tab, just like you did for the doors. And obviously, instead of clicking door, you click window. All the windows you need to load in are already in your project, so you don't need to go through the load family tools. So the first window type is a double hung with trim, which just means that if you look at this picture of the window, this is the very common type of window that you find in your own house where they slide up and down. So I'm going to go to 36 by 72, which is a pretty tall window. That's a 6-foot window. So I'm going to click on that. And since you always want to be in your first floor plan, I'm going to go to my first floor. And I'm going to add the windows just like they show me in the textbook. Oh, I have to click on window again. 36 by 72. You want your sill height to be 1 foot. And I'm going to worry about the dimensions after. Now, let me point something out. If I click towards the inside, it puts the window in the wrong way. You want to click towards the outside. You see the difference? There is a difference. It's hard to know which way you should go, but you should always put components so that they are placed towards the outside. That'll put them in the right direction. So you want to put 3 windows in here. And then you can come back and dimension them. So I'm going to click dimension. If you look at the textbook, or you should know this, you can always, you want to dimension from the exterior wall. So I hit tab so that I could get from the center to the outside. And now you just click the middle of the window. And you want this, well, let me put all, actually, let's put that over. So I'm going to click that, middle of the window, and I'm going to do them all at once. What happened to my dimension? All right, I'm going to go back and get it. Somehow it unclicked that. All right, there we go. I'm going to click the window since that's the one I want to move, and then click the dimension, and it's going to be 5, 6. Now click the next window. The distance between them is going to be 3, 6, and same thing here. Click the window, click that, click 6, and there we go. So those 3 windows are in the right place. I'm going to pause the video and let you add the other windows. You're going to add them 3 here and 3 here according to that textbook page. Okay, so that you were supposed to have just added all those other windows that were 6 feet tall. Now you need to add, if you look at page 550, you're adding the same type of window but a different size. This time it's only 4 feet, which is 48 inches. So I'm going to click window again, and instead of this size, I'm going to say 36 by 48. Make sure I'm under double hung with trim. And if you look, the sill height now actually automatically changed to 3 feet. I will show you what that means in just a minute. Let me place the windows. So the windows need to be, if you look at your dimension drawing on page 550, it's going to be 6 feet from that center wall. And click that down. Always remember to click towards the outside of the exterior wall, and then it's going to be 3, 6 from there. So now that window's in the right place. So I'm going to hit OK, and you want to dimension those. And those are in the right place. All right, the last thing you need to do, actually before we do that, let me show you what sill height means. We don't need to do this part, I'm just going to show you. I believe it's the north view, yep. So you see that these windows were the taller windows, and these are the shorter windows. Now, this is a good check. Do you see how this window looks different than this one? I must have clicked one of those windows in the wrong orientation. So one of these windows is backwards, actually, and that the exterior side of the window is facing interior. So let me go back, and we'll figure out which one is in the wrong place. And you can even see there's the slightest difference. One is placed differently than the other. And it's this one because those double arrows should be on the outside. Did I get it? No, somehow I didn't click it. There we go. So now if I go back to that view, now you see they all look the same. And so that's the difference in sill height. Sill height is the distance. In fact, here I can show you. Sill height should be 3 feet. If I get the level marker, there you go. There's the 3. Whoop! I clicked the line instead. Let me show you again. There you go. It's 3 feet. All right, so that shows you the sill height is 3 feet from the level. All right. Now, the last thing you need to do is you're going to actually create a new window type. So go back to your first floor plan, and you're going to create a fixed window. Now, a fixed window simply means it's a window that does not open. It does not mean it's fixed in place, but it's fixed and doesn't open. So what it wants you to do is click on the 36 by 24, which if you look, it's just looks like that. And we are going to, just like we did for walls, we're going to edit type, and all we're doing is creating a new size. So it wants a 36 by 24. If you look, that size is not in there. So we're going to say duplicate, and we're going to rename it 36 by 20. Now, it's not enough to just rename it. We actually have to change the size. So it wants the height property right here. Instead of being 2 feet, it's going to be 1/8, which is 20. And the default sill height will now be 5 foot 4 inches. So that's the height off of the ground, or height off the level that it's being placed on. And I'm going to hit OK. And now I have a window that's the right type. So if you go to the next page, the 552, you will see where they're supposed to be placed. But unfortunately, because it's not finding the exterior side of the house, I'm just going to place them down and then come back in and dimension them later. Now, if you notice, I don't see the windows. But if you go to your other view, you'll see that they actually are, in fact, there. Sorry, wrong view. They're there. They're the windows you just placed. Why can't you see them? It's because a floor plan basically cuts your house 4 feet from the level. So 4 feet up from this level is where you look at your floor plan. And if you remember, the sill height for these windows was at 5'4". So you will not see them because the cut plane is going right along this area. So if you want to see it, you can go back to your first floor and change your view height. There it is, view range. And you can set this cut plane to 7. Sorry, you're going to change this to 6 feet. We'll do it. And there are your windows. So now you can see I placed them backwards. And that's the problem when you can't see what you're doing. It's hard to do it right. And let's dimension them correctly. So this has to go to the outside wall. And now you can change this to 4'4". And now to move this window, you have to click on this window instead of the other one. And you can change this dimension to what it's supposed to be, which is 3'6". And do the same thing for these two windows to size them correctly. And now if you go back to your east view, you will see that these two windows are located correctly, and so on. Now the last thing you want to do after you're done with your windows here is make sure you change that view range back. I'll hit edit, change this back to 4 feet, which is the standard. And now you'll see your windows disappear. You can still see them vaguely if you hover over them. And that's all you have to do for this chapter. 5.5 is also on this worksheet, and that'll be in a different video.